What's up, guys? This is Dave with the Fight Bananas podcast. How's everyone doing out there? Man, oh man, we're getting it. Here we go. Friday, December 20th, UFC Fight Pass, 8 p.m. Titan FC 58. There you go. It's going bananas. We've had Danny Sabatello, who's in the main event for that Bantamweight Championship, on the line. We had him on. We had Uli the Monster Diaz on the Fight Bananas podcast in the last week or so. Cannot wait. He's making his MMA debut on UFC Fight Pass Titan FC 58. But man, oh man, we have a treat for you right now. Lex McMahon, the promoter, the boss, the heavy. We got him on right now. Lex McMahon about to go bananas. All right, guys, live on the Fight Bananas hotline. We're doing it Friday, December 20th, UFC Fight Pass, Fort Lauderdale. Lex McMahon, sir, how you doing?
I'm doing great, man. Thank you so much for having me on, Dave. I appreciate it.
Absolutely, brother. Titan FC 58, ton of buzz. The card is stacked. I love it. It's just if you love MMA, if you're a mixed martial arts fan, you've literally put everything on this card that a fan would love. So no one could talk about their baby, their love more than the creator, right? So can you talk us through Titan FC 58 this Friday night?
Yeah, so listen, our main event is going to be a great fight. You've got, one of the top prospects coming out of American Top Team, 6-0, Danny Sabatello. He's fighting the bantamweight champion, Erwin Rivera, who trains out of Hard Knocks 365. He's a beast. That kid came back from a broken leg and has been unbelievable since then, won the title on the interim basis, then took over the title. So Erwin's going to put on a great show. He's always pressing forward, and Danny is supposed to be the second coming, so let's see what happens there. Our co-main event is going to be a fun fight because we're bringing over a guy who is a really dominant KO artist as a boxer.
Right.
12-1 with 11 finishes. That's Ulysses Diaz, Uli the Monster. He's an absolute stud. He came to me, we have mutual friends, and he said, "Hey man, I want to fight MMA." I'm like, "Let's do it, brother." So he's coming, and he's got a good fight, and I think he's going to pack the house and put on an exciting fight for us. And I'm always interested in these crossover fights. How does somebody who's a specialist in one particular art fare when they have to put all the pieces together in MMA? So we'll see Friday night, but I know Yuli's going to put on a great show for us.
Right.
And then on our feature bout, I got a surprise for you because I'm going to let our feature bout guy tell you about his fight because I'm sitting right here with him right now, Mr. Mohammed Usman, the motor. Mo, talk to Dave at Fight Bananas.
Hey, how you doing, Dave?
Good, Mo. How you doing, my man? What a great surprise here for us. 5-1 heavyweight versus Reggie Cato. What a great fight for you. Titan FC 58, my man. How excited are you for this event?
Man, I'm very, very excited, man. That's our second one back. That's 3 this year. Our second one, to close out the year, man. And I'm very, very excited. And I'm ready to get in there.
Of course, and I definitely want to go right back to you. But this past weekend, I don't know if there was an exciting mixed martial art event, someone close and dear to you with a big victory. How great was it to see UFC 245?
Oh man, it was wonderful, man, because it's one of the first shows that I've seen where at the end of the day, things that go wrong can go wrong, and you still get the job done. And my brother did a wonderful job, and that's why he's the best, and he showed it. He showed why he's the best, and he showed why he does what he does. He's a heck of a fighter and even a better person, and we're just gonna just keep going and just keep fighting and keep doing everything that we're supposed to on this planet.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He is. He's a great man, great fighter, great champion. But back to you. It's so. I love the UFC Fight Pass. Every dream for a mixed martial artist is the UFC, right? They're the king, they're the crown, and events, promoters like Lex McMahon and Titan FC is just a perfect. It's the road. It's the right way to get into the UFC, to main event UFCs, 250s, 260s, 270s. It's a stacked card. A lot of eyes are on you because it's UFC Fight Pass. My man, how is it? How important is it to you to be with Titan FC and on UFC Fight Pass?
Man, I'm very grateful, man. When I first signed with these guys, Brian Butler, my manager, he told me, he was like, yeah, man, Lex is my friend. He's a really good guy. We all have the same mission for you. And since I've been over here, that's exactly what it is, man. Lex is one of the best guys in the business. It's not the best. He wants to put you in a position to go on with your career and better your career and get better every day. And as a man and as a fighter, and that's really big out here. A lot of promoters and guys just throw fighters in and just have them fighting, But Lex cares about you as a man, as a person, your family. He wants to see you succeed more than fighting, and that means more to me than everything else. And I definitely want to come out and put on a good show for him, for Fight Pass, for Titan. Titan's done nothing but show me love, and and it's the best organization besides one of these top tier organizations to fight at.
Right,
so I'm very grateful.
Man, I'm so happy to hear that. So funny, too. I talked to Uli Diaz probably around a week ago, and he kind of had that same message. He goes, Lex has been nothing but the best to me. He's given me the platform to succeed. He answers every time I call the man. So for you, you're in this featured bout. I know you're 5-1. I know you're kind of itching to, maybe go into a UFC fight maybe in 2020, but are you really are you intrigued to see what Uli Diaz does? Both in the same weight class. He's making a lot of rumble and a lot of noise. Are you interested to see Diaz fight underneath this Titan FC banner?
Yeah. What weight class is you?
No, Uli's middleweight.
Uli's a middleweight.
Okay.
You don't want none of those folks.
No, that's a big difference.
Hey, but I'm intrigued, man. I've kind of been following now, from Lex and the Titan page, like in Yuli's page. Like I didn't really know about him in the past, but I kind of been following his story, man. He has a very exciting story and very humbling story.
Yes, sir.
Kind of like myself, but on a different route. And I'm very, very excited to see what Yuli does. He's a very explosive boxer. I've seen some of his knockouts. He's put people's lights. He's put people in Mars. So I'm very excited to see how that translates to the MMA game, and can he transfer that game to MMA and see how he does on our stage.
Absolutely. My main man, I appreciate your time. Got wins at Titan FC 53, wins on Titan FC 57, featured bout, Titan FC 58. Tell the Fight Bananas fans, the community, what they can expect from Usman Friday night.
Man, you guys can expect fireworks. I'm gonna come out here. I'm gonna come out here and I'm gonna put it on. It could be anybody in front of me, and they're gonna I'm gonna put everything. I've been training so hard. I'm in a place right now, mentally in my mind, that I feel that it's time to show the next evolution of what I am as a fighter, and I'm just very, very excited to just get in there and just be at home. I'm just ready to go home. I'm ready to get in the cage. The cage is my home.
Yes, sir.
So I'm just ready to be at home.
Man, Mo, appreciate your time very much. I will have you back on the show after a victory, after a first round victory. We'll have you back on the Fight Bananas podcast, my man.
Oh, no, that sounds great, man. I look forward to it.
All right, my man. I'll talk to you real soon.
No problem.
All right, Bubba. So there's your surprise. I'm always trying to keep things interesting for you.
I love it, Lex. You keep me on my toes, but we're with it. We're staying with this thing for sure.
Cool, man. Well, listen, so getting back to the card after that surprise Usman visit, we got Mohamed Naimov. He's a beast, 4-0. He trains in Vegas. He's fighting Sean Brown, 2-1. That's a great featherweight bout. Naimov has come in and just dominated in his fights in Titan, so I'm excited for that. Then we've got two guys making their debut with Titan in Christian Australia and John Arce. Great flyweight bout, should be very exciting. And then, outside of, I'd say the Sabatello and the Usman fights, in terms of what's going to be pure excitement and energy, is the way we're going to open up Fight Pass, and that's going to be Christian Torres. Christian's 14-10, so he's a bit of a journeyman in some respects, but man, he's tough as hell,
right?
And he just puts on great fights. Every time he's fought for me, he's been nothing but a monster. Trains his heart out, and I know he's going to put on a great fight. And he's fighting a super explosive Ukrainian cat by the name of Askar Mozharov. And the crazy thing, he's 19-6. He hit me up on Instagram, and he's like, "Man, I need to fight for you." And I was like, "Man, who are you?" He sent me a couple of links, and I'm like, oh, this dude's got some smoke, man. He can bring it.
Right.
So I did some research on him. Super explosive, really dynamic striker. Trained over in Thailand a lot. Has had some fights over there. You can just tell in his style. So I think that's the reason I made that the opening bout is, I think we're going to see fireworks and somebody's going to take a nap in that fight for sure.
Wow, that's awesome. It is 2019, Lex. You can hit you up on Instagram, Lex McMahon. You can always hit up the Titan FC banner at Titan Fighting on Instagram. That's just how the world talks, right? It's how we get connected. That's really cool. That's a great story to hear. I would love for you, I know the event is coming up this Friday. I know you're super busy. I don't want to take up a ton of your time. Just got a couple fun, cool questions for you. Can you put a bow on this year? What a crazy year. I looked at, Titan FC 52 all the way up now to 58. Fort Lauderdale, you had that epic event in the Dominican Republic. You had that, the crazy ending with Juan Porta and then the whole redemption fight. What a banner year for you personally and Titan FC 58 this Friday to kind of cap off the year. What can you say about the 2019 year for Titan FC?
It has been a great year, full of a lot of exciting fights and great performances. I'm just blessed to be a part of the journey that these athletes take. I've been with, Mo Usman through the ups and the downs that has been, going on. I've been through, the ups and downs with Juan Puerta, his things, been through, everything with these guys. And what people, Ryan Loco, one of the great photographers in the sport, once put together kind of a montage for me. And it was a picture of me. It was a series of pictures of me going into the cage after each fight and hugging the athletes, and sometimes giving them a kiss on the forehead. I love these guys, man. I respect what they do and their journey, and I'm just, humbled that, my partner Jeff and I get to be a part of it. In terms of highlights, man, hard to think. There's so many great fights that went down, but I definitely think having Dana come and do film Looking for a Fight,
yes, sir,
and find Herbert Burns and Rafael Alves and take them on to the next level. That was definitely one of the highlights. It was a packed house and Dana had a blast, and it's always good to have the boss come and appreciate what you do. So that's probably the highlight, but just the journey, the day in, day out, spending time with these dudes as they do their thing. That's really what it's all about for us here.
Absolutely, man. And you mentioned a couple names. How about Juan Porta, Jason Suarez, Jose Shorty Torres, Stephen Mowry, Chase Hooper just got his win in the UFC, Jessica Borga, Bellator win. Like, these names that fought for you for 2019, they're just, historic. They're just taking over mixed martial arts, and this is what I love about it. I talk a lot with Dean Toole with Island Fights and Titan FC. They're just, you guys are the roads. If you want to become...
Hey, we lost you, brother.
Oh, you hear me now?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, I was just saying about how Titan FC, all these great fighters, if you want to work and, fight for the UFC, that's how you do it. One of my questions is kind of funny, is I know how much crazy the game is, right? And especially the promotion side of it. And it just seems like sometimes there are a lot of barking back and forth with promoters, a lot of things that don't go your way. And I talk to Dean Toole all the time, and he's the one that hooked us up. And he says...
Dave. Love Dean. He's
right.
a great dude, man.
There you go. There it is. He says he has so much respect for you. He goes, dude, I love what Lex is doing down there. You guys are on the same team in a way for UFC Fight Pass. And he just had so much great things to say about you. It is just wild that more promoters don't have this handshake, don't have this great camaraderie. How can you, what can you talk about that?
Man, I think people just have an approach to, the way they approach their life and their business. And, mine is all about positive energy. And, man, I was in venture capital before I came into MMA. I've been broke as broke can be. I've been really well off financially. Done that a couple times in the cycle of things. And, I'll tell you that I've never been more happier than I am now. And it's because I'm doing something I'm passionate about with people that I really genuinely care about and respect. I think that carries over in how I, do my business. I try to treat people with respect, and I think they sense that and they reciprocate. And when I give everybody the benefit of the doubt, man, until, maybe they show their true colors.
Right.
And then I don't even waste negative energy on them, man. Like, you can put people on blast. You can go out and do all that stuff, man. it's something you don't see me do. I just focus on the positives and expend energy helping to build careers and move on. I mean, you touched on some of the names that we've put in. That's just a handful, man. We put 84 fighters into the UFC and the UFC ecosystem of Contender and Ultimate Fighter in the past almost 4 years.
Gosh, that's incredible.
We've had the company for years.
Yeah.
Just in the past almost 4 years, that's what we've done. So it's something that we really focus on, and we try to, make sure that we are helping people take the next step. And I'm always happy when I get to call Dana or the matchmakers over at the UFC and say, hey, I got somebody. I think you should take a look. And then they take them. And I know Dean Toole, we mentioned that's kind of what started this is, how Dean and I have a mutual admiration for one another. He's the same way, man. He bends over backwards to get, his folks into the UFC and to move on to the next level, and understands that that's, kind of our role in the sport is, we are, and I take pride in it, man. We're the foundation, for a lot of these athletes to have their career and to move on. So when somebody advances, not only do I allow it to happen, but I applaud it, and many times I facilitate it. And Dean's the same way. That's why I really like him as a person, as well as a professional.
Right. Wow. I love that. I love that word you said, foundation. I really do agree with you on that. We're talking here with Lex McMahon. We got 2 more questions for you, my brother. One is, every promoter, of course, would love Masvidal, Stylebender, Kamaru Usman, guys who can talk the talk, but of course, they inside that octagon, the best in the world. That's just the best of the best, right? But for you personally, there's fighters. I see Uli Diaz. He's been everywhere, my man. I see you guys talking on the radio today. He's been promoting and pushing the fights like no other, and I respect that so much. And you see tons of fighters pushing brands. Sometimes inside the octagon, the record might be iffy, right? Or, there's fighters that really don't talk a lot. There's fighters that really don't push the brand, push even the company's brand, the promotion, but they go inside that cage and they win. What do you prefer as a promoter? Of course, we want the best of both, but if you had to pick one or the other, what side do you take?
Great fights all day long.
Okay.
You can talk a great game. It's important. This is sports entertainment. Let's not get it twisted. We've got to entertain the fans, but the core of what we do is put on fights. If you put on shitty fights, man, they're not going to tune in.
Right.
Doesn't matter how many things great quotes you have. But if you put on great fights consistently and then you throw some sizzle on top of it, people are going to get excited. They're going to want to come watch, and that's what it's about. But if I have to choose one, give me great fights all day long, man. I'm a fan of this sport more than anything.
Wow. Lex McMahon, Titan FC 58, December 20th, UFC Fight Pass, Extreme Action Park. My last question, last idea, last fun thing I got for you is you talked about the main event. Shock this world. Danny Sabatello cannot wait. Bantamweight Championship versus Rivera. And you mentioned Hard Knocks and American Top Team. 2 of the best gyms in the galaxy. And they're both so close to each other down there, down south in Florida. And so are you guys. Would you ever be intrigued? This is, say, Titan FC 65. Hard Knocks versus American Top Team.
Listen, that's a fun idea, right? As long as we've got the matchups that work to make it make sense, because there's more than just those, creating that rivalry, right?
Right.
It was created artificially from, the Ultimate Fighter show. There's really no beef between those athletes. A lot of them train together on the side at kind of neutral territory gyms. But, it is something that has people's attention. And so if we could put together, the right fights that would not only be great fights to watch on UFC Fight Pass, but would also, fill the house, then I'm all for it, but as a promoter, I got to think about all these different little ways to, generate revenue. And one of them certainly is putting butts in seats.
Yes, sir.
And so, I don't know if we can get that out of all the guys between Hard Knocks and and American Top Team. We'd have to see. The benefit that I have from both of those gyms is they truly are some of the best fighters and talent in the world as they're making their way on the upward trajectory. But some of them aren't from this area, so they don't have strong fan bases in this area. They're just here to train,
Yep.
And they're here to put on a great show, and they do that every single time. But, you need guys that have a strong nexus to the local community, guys that are kind of organically come up through the gyms here in this community. So you need some of that in order to make sure that, while you've got great fights that people are going to come in to see, people want to see their hometown hero. That's just part of promoting. That's promoting 101.
Yes, sir.
You put somebody on that's going to resonate with the local crowd. So, we got to figure that out, and we'll see. But I like the idea, and, it's something to play with for sure.
There you go.
Here's what I like.
Okay.
I'll tell you what I like.
Okay.
And Dean and I talked about it, and we need to make it reality, is Island Fights versus Titan FC. I love it. It's the best, not only in Florida, but some of the best in the world.
Wow.
Super exciting. And Dean and I can work together because we respect one another. And
yes, sir.
Obviously a shared platform. So he and I talked about it. We're looking at, ways to kind of, dig in and make it a reality. But I'm telling you, that would be a hell of a fun night of fights. It's Island Fights versus Titan.
Holy shit.
And I know Mo's
yes.
got something to say over here. He's always ready. He's Team Titan all the way, so.
Lex, we could call it Titan Fights.
There you go. There you go.
Incredible, my man. Continued success for you, Lex. So cannot wait. We'll be watching a UFC Fight Pass. We'll be pushing links, posters, pictures, wherever we can do our little way to help in any way. We got your back 100%. Titan FC 58 UFC Fight Pass this Friday night. Lex, Usman, thank you boys so much. We appreciate you. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, brother. Thank you.
Thank you, brother. Bye. Wow, guys, what a great conversation with Lex McMahon. And then to get surprised by the heavyweight phenom, Mo Usman. His brother put on a hell of a show last week. 6 days later, we're about to see Usman probably capture another victory. What a week for the family, right? Holy crap. UFC welterweight champion of the world. And, man, Mo Usman, co-main event, 5-1 heavyweight bout. I cannot wait. Appreciate Mo coming on the podcast. Really excited. Titan FC 58. Guys, if we plugged it enough, we pushed it enough, you know where to get it. Go on UFC Fight Pass. Order it right now. Order it right now. The whole month is worth it just for Titan FC 58, but you always get so much more. There's so many other great organizations doing work, and then I'm telling you, you have to start watching Quintet. You have to. These grapple and super fights, the Quintet Ultra, if you haven't seen it, go back and watch it. It's bananas. The one thing I took about this conversation with Mr. Lex McMahon, Island Fights versus Titan FC, you're talking about Titan Fights? Oh, man, that would literally be bananas. They have budding superstars. Both organizations just stock the UFC. They are the foundation of the UFC, what we know of it today, 2020 and beyond. Man, that's a great idea. That's a brilliant idea, and that's why he gets paid the big bucks, guys. That's why Lex McMahon gets paid the big bucks. And talking about the big bucks, we got to talk about our sponsors, talking about Instill Nutrition. Follow them on all social media platforms like their Facebook page, Warhammer Fightwear. They are supplying the gear for mixed martial artists around the world and just here, just, regular people, regular Joes, regular Amy's, whatever, right? They have great female products. They have stuff for the kids, warhammerfightwear.com. Fusion CBD products, they are humongous down south there. I know they'll be in the building, Titan FC 58. They supply a lot of the American top team fighters. They're just humongous. I use the CBD Instant Freeze literally every day. Every day I use it. 35 years old, 2 kids, about to have 4 kids. We got twins on the way. I rub it all over my body. I need to. I hold pads for the kids at home, and then they don't hit the pads, and they just punch me all day. And, it is what it is. Mako Tech mouth guards. Check them out, guys, on the IG. Mako Tech _mouth guards. Wow, what a great show. I'm just so happy and privileged to talk to Lex McMahon and Mo Usman. Just very, very, very honored to talk to them today. Guys, Titan FC 58. Make sure you are watching it on UFC Fight Pass. If you can't get down to the Extreme Action Park in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, just watch it. Just watch it. Danny Sabatello shocked this world versus Rivera in the main event. It's going to be a hell of a card. Continued success to everyone out there listening to it. Share this podcast with a friend, a neighbor, and an enemy. Stay bananas and stay blessed.